Hi everyone, welcome to another video from this Ivy and the Inky Butterfly page, and we have some books that we're going to do today. This is on this page it does say that it's a bookcase, so I thought we would just start. It's the bookcase in the Wonder Room actually. I thought we would just start with doing a little bit of the actual bookcase using some browns in the background, and then we'll do the books afterwards. So I'm going to start with the Walnut Brown. These are Polychromos, it's what we've been using for this page. And I'm basically going to put a dark bit at the back. I'm going to fade it a little bit. Actually, I'm probably not thinking about it because the books will be creating a shadow. It'll be quite dark there, and here as well. It'd actually probably be darker in there, and from the shadow of that book there it might get a little lighter towards there. So let's just blend that a little bit, and we'll pop another colour in there later. We'll have a think about this bit. I think it's going to be quite dark around the edge where the sort of edge of the bookcase would be. It would also be quite dark around the edge of the books where they would create a shadow. So I hope everyone's doing well. I thought today I would just tell you about my website, and there is a link to it in the description. I think it's quite near the bottom. You have to be patient and go right through. There's a lot of writing in my description. As a freelance writer by trade, I do know how to write a lot. But anyway, so I'm sorry about that. But on my website there are different bits and pieces that I thought might be useful for you to look at. It has all my archive newsletters on there, so if you are nosy and want to know, nosy, that sounds rude, I don't mean it in a rude way, I mean nosy like me, like curious, that's the word. If you are curious and want to know what's in my newsletters, you can have a look there. I'm going for a much lighter one here, the brown ochre. Let's put it in shot so you can actually see it. I just hold it at the top, and I'm going to fill in these little gaps with a little bit of a lighter shade. Just go over the top and really get it in there. Anyway, so it's got my archive newsletters, as I say, so if you want to know what's in the newsletters, they're there. I send them out first, whenever that might be, and then put them up on the website. Well, sometimes the day after, sometimes a week after. It really depends on when I think about it. On a Saturday, I put an article in the blog showing links to all the tutorials I've done, so in case you've missed any. There are other things on there too. There are book reviews. So where I have, I'm just grabbing my next colour. Where I've finished a book, I might show a link to my my flip through before I started it, my completed book review. Light yellow ochre, I'm going to do, can you see that? No. There you can see it. I'm going to do all the tops of the books as if they're gold pages, but I'm just going to use this one shade. So the sort of initial flip through before I've done it, the completed flip through, and a little write-up about what I thought of it, and some finished pages. So that I've got those articles. I have got some are reviews of pencils, I think, with pictures I've done using those pencils, and I've got some tutorials. Some people I know aren't so keen on a video tutorial, or it might be at a time when you can't access one, watch it, can't put the sound on for some reason or something, or some people might just prefer a step-by-step one without a video, so they might feel they can do it more at their own pace. So those are available for some items. I might extend that over the summer a little bit. I just realised I've gone slightly wrong. I'm just going to grab my eraser, if I can find it, in my pencil case among all my bits and pieces. My eraser is black, and a lot of things in this pencil case are as well. I do have a pink one which I might bring through instead. Tombow Mono. And this another little thing that I treated myself to a second eraser because it's easier to have one in here and one next door. Because next door is where I normally colour and here is just where I record. Now, book colours. We could try do a rainbow, but when I did the rainbow yesterday, it didn't really work, did it? It was a bit of a disaster. Also, I don't think anyone would really stack their books in rainbow order. They might, but I don't think I would. So what I'm going to do is just do a sort of random colours. So I'm going to start with the dark indigo on this one. And just use colours that I think would be the type of colours that you would find on an old book. So I'm sort of thinking hardback book, stately home library, what colours would the covers be? And they would be dark colours, I would think, elegant dark colours. They wouldn't be neons or pastels, would they? If you think about it, you know, think about your Reader's Digest. I don't know if that's just a British thing. They were often a red, I seem to remember. We had a few. We had red, blue, not this shade, some more navy blue, and green, very dark greens, that sort of colour. Brown as well. So those are the sort of colours I tend to do my books. Now, what I'm trying to do here is make it darker on the outside. Sorry, it's going blurred, isn't it? So it looks more rounded, because the spine of a book is not always flat. Sometimes it is. This book I've got here is, but a hardback book tends to have this piece as a piece of leather, and although the spine is flat and glued, this piece tends to be loose and slightly rounded. A little bit hard to describe. I'm trying to think if I've got a hardback book that I could demo, but I don't have one that I can think of immediately. So that's how I'm doing this, like that. Now I'm leaving all this because my thought is that they usually have sort of gold or black on the spines. I think I'm going to do it gold because it's prettier. I actually have a gold, I might use the gold pencil. I rarely use it. We'll do it at the end though. We'll do all the books first. So next, I'm going to do a green one. I'm thinking, yeah, let's try this one. This is the Chrome Oxide Green Fiery. It's quite a nice darkish green. I think that will work. And again, I'm going to try and do it a little harder on the edge and less towards the middle. Now you could use several colours here. Use a lighter shade in the middle, but I find it's easier just to layer up at the edge. Then you know you're getting the same colour. It's easier than trying to match a light and a dark sometimes. Sometimes you get a clue, you know, if you're doing your phthalo greens, you've got a light and a dark so you know what you're doing. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to slowly fade as I go to the middle, and I just automatically do a bit from each end, and it helps me find the middle a bit more easily, although I can see where it is because of the writing that Johanna's done on it. And it doesn't need to be really accurate. We're not worried. It's fun. There we go. That's quite simple. That bit. Oh, that's the next book. Now I fancy moving to a red. I'm going to do this really deep red. What's it called? Oh, it's the dark red. And not sure about that bit. I think I'll just do it plain. Now this one to me looks more flat from the way it's drawn, so I'm going to colour it more flat. Can you see that doesn't look quite so curved as that one? Maybe just because it's thinner. I don't know if it'll look odd. Maybe just do a little bit dark on the edges. Okay, just a little bit. You can always, come back and alter anything later. I feel now we need something a little bit brighter. I'm tempted to go for, I don't think we're going to have a sort of yellow. I think that would be a bit too garish for a bookshelf of this sort of books. I'm not saying yellow's garish, I like it. I'm just saying I don't think it would work for this. I'm thinking maybe we might have, yeah, maybe a sanguine. I think that's how you say it. The sanguine would be a sort of muted orange. That might work. I don't know whether I would put that next to the red on my bookshelf, but see, I wouldn't, look how those are lying down. Couldn't have that on my bookshelf. I'm not very good when I like things to look neat, so obviously all books of a series would be next to each other and in order, but also I would sort of want heights. I would take height into consideration. I wouldn't go high, low, low, low. I'd sort of have a slope going from tall at one end to short at the other. But maybe that would look strange. I don't know. I don't actually have a bookshelf of my own in the house. I share my son's. So I want a pink. I'm going to go for the middle purple pink because it's a bit more sophisticated. Oh, sorry, my nose is itchy. Gosh, my husband, I'm worried that I've got a clock in here now, which is very useful for me, but that you might be able to hear the ticking really loudly. I don't know whether it's going to be off-putting or not. Let me know. You'll probably all be listening for it now. It's quite loud. It's like one I used to have by my bed, and it is quite a loud tick. I'm sort of obviously used to it because I sleep with it, but I've got two clocks near the bed because one of them, the alarm stopped working, so I bought another one, and the alarm didn't work at all. It was brilliant. So I ended up, I'm choosing my next colour, having two clocks that didn't work and setting an alarm on my tablet instead. So I thought I would bring one down here. This is Cobalt Blue-Greenish. It is slightly lighter, but I think it will be okay. So yes, I brought it down because this week I want to make sure I don't miss any tennis, so I'm keeping an eye on the time for that reason. But also in the mornings, I'm recording a little bit early in the mornings. My husband usually messes around in the house, doesn't do a lot, and then goes off to work quite late, so he doesn't really talk to me. So I said I want to start recording early, so I put a clock in so I could come out in time to say goodbye to him. Pine green. But he decided this morning, he normally leaves for work at about 9:15 because he misses the traffic. He decided this morning he would leave as soon as I started recording, but he's we've got someone coming round tonight and he wants to finish work early, so I think that might have been the reason more so than anything, and he rushed off. I've never known him leave so quickly. It was quite interesting. That he's really motivated to get home on time tonight to chat to the builder who's coming round, or I don't think he's really a builder, fitter I suppose is the right word. Carpenter maybe? I don't know. Anyways, I think it's because with our kitchen fit we I'm just thinking about whether that would be that light. No, I'm going to put another layer on it. We both have different priorities when it comes to the kitchen. We don't disagree, we just have different things that we want doing. So we're going to get it all done, but I think he just wants to make sure that his things get remembered, which is absolutely fair enough. I'm thinking, would it be grey? No, brown. I don't think they'd be grey. But we've got brown wall. Is it going to even stand out? If we do this light warm brown-ish, lightish warm brown, it might work. This is the raw umber. I think this is going to work. But maybe not for that one, which is right next to, will be better for this one. And I've just realised I've missed a bit there. Hang on, I'm going to do some of the darker brown again. So we're back to our walnut brown for a minute, because this bit is a bit of bookcase, but that bit, would that be that book? Yeah. And with the brown ochre over the top of it, like that. There we go. Okay, so now back to our raw umber, but as I say, I'm not doing that book, I'm doing this book. Now this has got a straight spine, so that's how I'm going to colour it, with a straight spine. There we go. Now, what are we going next? Where are we going? I'm thinking maybe another red. Or purple. We haven't got a purple, have we? Let's go for a mauve. You'll have to believe me. It's teeny. Never quite sure how to colour this bit. I should just put a layer down and have a think. And then do this bit. Sorry, I'm gone all quiet. I'm deep in thought about kitchens. Now I have had requests to do before and after photos. It is something I need to do. I was going to do some before photos this weekend after I finished cleaning the kitchen, but I didn't get round to it. But the work isn't going to start for ages, so it'll be fine. I can never quite get that one looking right. I think the angle of that doesn't look quite right in my head. I think maybe I'll put a bit more shadow along there. I'm almost tempted to just colour. I don't know if you would see very much of that side of the book really, with the angle it is. It's almost tempting to make that background and pretend you can't really see the book. I think you'd only see that much. But anyway, next we've got a nice big one. What have we got? We've got 2 greens, 2 blues, a pink, 1 purple. I know, I do this sort of red colour. No, this sort of colour actually. This is a burnt sienna. I thought sienna had 2 N's. That's how I spell it. Never noticed that's only got 1. How interesting. Anyway, is it going to be a bit too... I'm going to do it on this one. I think it's going to be a bit too close to that and the dark. It's quite brownish, isn't it? So as I say, I'll do it on this one. I'm going to have to make up my mind soon about what colour to do the border around all these little pictures, aren't I? Be a challenge for me. I haven't decided yet. It's quite brown looking, isn't it? I think it'll be alright. Last one, I want something colourful. Should we do a pink? A pinky colour. This one, I think. We'll do the crimson. I always thought crimson was red when I was growing up, but this is definitely pink. It's not quite the elegant sort of colour that I was describing at the beginning, but I just think it needs brightening up a little bit. But you can choose something different. An orange might have worked, potentially. Don't forget that bit down there. You might think that that should be a shelf. I'm just not really sure. Trust your instincts and go with what feels right for you. I think I'm actually going to try using the gold, silver and copper pencils for the markings on the books. Now they do work quite well mixed. I wish I could credit the person who explained that the gold pencil looks much better if it's actually coloured on top of some yellow. They are right. It depends what shade of gold you want. And the silver looks good if it's on top of greys as well. But I'm going to use them just plain. So the gold, copper and silver. And I might not use the silver much, I'm not sure, but I think the gold and the copper, I think it's called copper, is it bronze? Oh, it's copper. Might work well. Copper is the colour in our kitchen that we're having on our handles and our tap, which is quite fun. Just giving them a sharpen. Let's go with the gold first of all. If you don't like these metallic pencils, you can use a pen, but I think that would be a little bit bright and brash. Or you can use make gold using your own colours, or I'm going to use the copper on the next one. I can't get that to show up at all, you'll just have to believe me, I'm sure you do. Or you can use what could you use? You could use green gold. That's quite a nice one. It would probably show up on all of them except this one. Let's make this one in gold. I'm not going to keep trying to show you the name because it just doesn't show up, so I just tell you what I'm doing. And hopefully anyone who hasn't got the sound on can just about work it out. And metallic pencils are quite fun. I've got the Castle Arts ones. I love using them. They're such good fun. But they produce a sort of muted type colour. I'm keeping with the copper here because if I go gold, copper, it's going to look a bit weird. Now that had 2 lines on. I could have done one from each colour, but I didn't. Now this book I'm going to do in silver. Ooh, my elbow's catching on my pencils. The silver is much better at shining than the other colours. I think I'm going to do that on silver too. This one in the copper. And I find that with all pencils and pens, metallic pens as well, silver just seems to shine the best. It's quite strange. Now if I lift that page a little bit into the lamp, you can see that the silver's quite shiny but the others really aren't, but they still give the tone that I'm after, so I'm quite happy with how they look. But it's up to you to think about whether that's what you want to do or not. You know, you've got choices of other colours. As I say, green gold will work. A grey rather than a silver, maybe. I don't know. But that's that. So that's our little row of books. And we've got 2 more pictures left. And I will have at last finished this double page, which has only taken me since October. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.